Hello, greetings. So in this screencast, I just want to quickly walk through the course syllabus and emphasize that we'll quickly go through the course syllabus. A copy is available on Canvas, so you can read through it in great detail on your own. Um, so if you have any questions, though, by all means, just let me know. So first to start out, at the top, right, here's my name, right, I'm Professor Paluch, and then here's my email address and my phone number. Okay, I just want to emphasize again that while this course is online asynchronous, it's online and asynchronous to facilitate your ability to take it, right? To give you flexibility in terms of taking the course and completing the course over J-term. Okay? But remember that I am a physical person and I am here and happy to help you. So if you need any help whatsoever, please reach out. Okay, so you can send me an email on my email. If you want to set up and meet via Zoom or Google Meets, all right, I'm more than welcome to. Zoom is excellent, right? We can share our screens and readily help you troubleshoot and problem solve. Okay, email's great. If you have problem or trouble solving a problem and you're trying to solve it in MATLAB, you can send me your MATLAB code. I will try and troubleshoot and help you out that way if possible. Beyond just traditional email, though, remember, our MME email addresses are Google accounts or Gmail accounts. And so you are welcomed and encouraged to send me messages by Google Chat if you need help. So in previous semesters, I've found Google Chat to be a little more natural in terms of interacting and helping students problem solve. Right, we can go back and forth a little more easily. And then, if I'm not at my computer, I'll get alerts on my phone. I can try and help you troubleshoot by my phone, or try and get to a computer as soon as possible, right? Because I know that you'll need help. But please remember that I'm here and happy to help. There aren't official office hours set, but this course is just all about giving you flexibility to complete the course. So if you need help, just send me an email and we will meet. We will get you set up. All will be okay. You can read through the bulletin description and then the course objectives in a little more detail on your own. Okay, but just as a comment, within this course we have mechanical engineers, mechanical engineers, manufacturing engineers, chemical engineers, and biomedical engineers. Right. So we've got a wide variety of students, and so the course will be taught right as broadly as possible. Okay. And so while the book we're using has chemical engineering in the title, we're using the first half of the textbook, which covers this common material. In terms of prerequisites, you can have a look. The prereqs are just MME 211, CPB 204, or CPB 219. Since all of you were able to register for the class on your own, right, I trust that you have the prerequisites. If you don't, please send me an email so we can talk through it. If you don't have the prerequisites, but it's determined that you should stay in the class, then we just need to fill out a petition form so we have that on record for ABET purposes. Again, you can read through the bulletin description and course objectives in more detail on your own. Course website, right? So everything's going to be placed on the Canvas page. I'm going to record ample screencasts both for lecture material, but then also in terms of problem solving. And so in the past, I've posted those on Drive and embedded them in Canvas. This semester, I'm going to try and move those to my YouTube channel. I'm going to record material and post them on my YouTube channel. I'll embed it all in Canvas, but by the end of the course, right, the hope is I'll have it all available on YouTube and publicly available, so that after the course is complete, after you're locked out of the Canvas site, all of those resources will still be available to you if you need them. Right, and so the goal for me is to make sure I make resources that are useful for this course, right? Because my goal is for you all to be successful in this course. But then I also want to try and make them available to you so that after the course, they're still there as a reference for you in the future. Okay, but for the purpose of the course, everything will be on Canvas. If you need anything, by all means, let me know. If you want more material, if you want additional features, just let me know, and I'll be happy to accommodate you. Communication, again, right? The note here is just what I have on my end is I have a list of everybody's MME email address. So when I send messages through Canvas, or when I send messages through announcements on Canvas, those messages are going to go to your MME email account. All right, so please make sure you're using your MME email account and checking it regularly for the course. And when you send emails to me, if it's through your MME email or your Gmail, just make sure you're using your MME email so that when I receive them, I know that who you are, and so that there's no breakdown in communication. So make sure you're using your MME email. When you send me an email, if you could put CPB or MME 314 in the title too, that would be great, so that when I see it, right, I can flag it and say, okay, let me try and respond to that as quickly as possible, or take a look at it as quickly as possible. The course textbook. Okay, the textbook for the course is Fundamentals of Chemical Engineering Thermodynamics with Applications to Chemical Processes. Okay, so again, it's got chemical engineering in the title. The book is, there's 14 chapters in it. We're just going to look at the first 7, chapters 1 through 7. Okay, and actually, I take that back. We're going to cover just chapters 1 through 6. Okay, but chapters 1 through 7 are all on pure component systems. And the material in chapters 1 through 7 are general, right? So that material in the first half of the book is on pure component systems and is suitable for mechanical and manufacturing engineers, chemical engineers, and bioengineers, okay, or biomedical engineers. The reason that I like this textbook is it's pretty small, right? So if you compare it to many of the other textbooks out there, it's relatively short, quote unquote, short, in that it just contains the essential material that we need for the course, right? So I like it from a length standpoint. I also like it in that the textbook's very readable and accessible, and so you will, or you should, read, chapters 1 through 6, right? And so I find the book very approachable and readable. And then another big feature that I like is that you can read the book for free through the library. Okay, and so I tried to send out an email in advance of the semester. Okay, so while this is a required course for the text, or required textbook for the course, right, in that we will follow the textbook in this course. Okay, so it's a required textbook, right? I would not require you to buy it, right? And in fact, I would suggest that you first try out the online version before you consider buying or purchasing the textbook. So a major reason for purchasing this textbook is that you can read it for free via the libraries. And so you've got a screencast posted on the Canvas site. If you were to paste this link into your URL, you'd be brought to it, which just demonstrates the ability to access the textbook through the libraries. Okay, the libraries does have a disclaimer that they can't guarantee use, but I can tell you now that I've used this for several semesters in my second thermodynamics course without an issue. Right, so I haven't had any students have issues with it. The only issue that we've had is that the superheated steam tables in the appendix that we'll use when we're quantitatively solving some problems, there's some formatting issues. But the textbook is fantastic. Give it a try. The appendix, the superheated steam tables, has some formatting issues. But on the Canvas site, I have a scanned up version of the appendix for my text. So I would encourage you to read the textbook through the library for free, or at least give it a try before you consider buying the book. If you use the online version, my message is just avoid using the appendix, but I have a scanned copy available on Canvas. Use that. And that's only when we get to the superheated steam tables, the formatting's a little off. All right, so make sure you're using my scanned copy so that there's consistency in our work and our answers. Okay, so try the online version for free. When it comes to needing physical properties from the appendix, have a look at the scanned copies that I have available online. All right, grading. So the course is set up so that your grade's going to be out of 1,000 points. Okay, and the breakdown is as such, right? And kind of to go over the outline of the course again, is the course is going to be broken up into 3 blocks. Block 1 is going to contain chapter 1 and 2. Block 2 is chapters 3 and 4, and then block 3 is chapters, block 1's 1 and 2, block 2 is 3 and 4, and then block 3 is 5 and 6. Okay, so there's going to be 3 blocks, okay, each consisting of 2 chapters. In each chapter, there's going to be a qualitative quiz and a quantitative quiz. All right, the qualitative quiz are just going to be true, false, multiple choice, fill in the blank style questions, pulled essentially directly from the readings. Okay, or there might be some qualitative questions that come from the screencast lectures. And then there's going to be quantitative quiz, which is going to be the equivalence of homework problems. And so I'll have screencasts of myself solving problems. Okay, you can try and master the problems by following along in those videos, and then take the quantitative quiz to demonstrate your mastery. And those quantitative quizzes are set up so that you can take them 3 times. So if you get something wrong the first time, you can try again. Okay, and if you still get something wrong, you can try again and take it a 3rd time. Okay, so for each chapter, there's going to be 2 quizzes. Okay, so say block 1, you have chapter 1, qualitative quiz, then a quantitative quiz, and then you move on to chapter 2, qualitative quiz, quantitative quiz, and then at the end of the block, there's going to be an exam. Okay, so each block will contain a total of 4 quizzes and then an exam. Okay. Now, when it comes to your quizzes, right, the quizzes are all open notes, open book. They are set up so that they have a 6-hour time limit. I used to use unlimited time limits. It's 6 hours just so that you don't keep it open indefinitely on your computer, right? But 6 hours is intended to be more than enough time. Okay. So the quizzes are going to be open notes, open book, right? And my hope is that if you follow along, right, in the class, that you should be able to get perfect scores, right, on all of your quizzes. Okay. And so as long as you can keep pace with the course and you're able to follow along, right, my hope is that you get a perfect score on all of your quizzes. Okay. So your quantitative quizzes, right, the 6 of them are going to be a total of 450 points, or 45% of your grade. Okay. The qualitative quizzes, a total of 150 points, or 15% of your grade. So your quizzes are going to amount to 60% of your course grade. Okay. So my hope is, as long as you keep pace and follow along, that you can get perfects on your quizzes. Again, the qualitative ones are true, false, multiple choice, fill in the blank style questions based on the readings, right? And some material might be pulled from the screencast. Okay. But you're going to have 6 hours. So essentially, you're going to have ample time. And so as long as you take your time and genuinely complete the quizzes, right, I'm confident you can get a perfect score on them. When it comes to the quantitative quizzes, right, you're going to take them, you can take them up to 3 times with the hope of you miss something on the first attempt, you figure out what you got wrong, you review the material, you take it a second time, hopefully you get a perfect then. If not, well, then you'll have a 3rd attempt to try and get it. So my hope is that you get a perfect, that everybody can get a perfect, right, for their quiz grades. And that's going to be 60% of your grade. And so the hope is, if you were to just get a perfect on all your quizzes in the course, that gets you 600 points, right, puts you at a 60%. So you're, almost out of the F range, right? So if you're less than a 61%, right, then you have an F, right? But the hope is if you can just follow along and complete the quizzes, right, it's going to get you to the point where you can virtually pass the course, right? Get you beyond, that F. Okay. So hopefully everybody can get a perfect on the quizzes, okay, and that'll get you to be able to pass the course, right? So hopefully everybody's going to pass the course, right? No casualties. And then at the end of each block, there's going to be an exam, right? So the exams aren't cumulative, in that exam 1 is going to cover chapter 1 and 2. Exam 2 will be based on the material from 3 and 4. And exam 3 is going to be based on the material from 5 and 6. Okay, so they're going to be based on that material. Okay, so they're not, quote unquote, cumulative, but, they are cumulative in a sense that the material builds upon itself. Okay, but, right, they're going to be based on, so say exam 3 is going to be based on chapters 5 and 6. Now, then the hope is the exams are worth 400 points, or 40% of your grade, is even if you were to get a 50%, right, on all of your exams, okay, so you get a perfect on all your quizzes, you get a 50% on all of your exams, okay, that would still put you at 800 points, okay, 800 points, or 80%, right, get you, right here, right, between this, C plus and B minus, okay, so the course is, set up to trying to streamline as much as things as possible in terms of J-term. Okay, but my hope is that if you can at least stay on track and keep pace with the course, right, you should at least pass it. Okay, and even if you were to pull a 50% on the exams, right, that's going to put you in this C plus B minus range. Okay, Now, I hope everybody does better than 50% on all the exams, right? In fact, right, the goal is for everybody to get an A in the course, right? If everybody were to get an A, that means you did your job, right, in terms of following along, studying, completing the material, and that means I did a good job in terms of helping you complete the course material. Okay, so the goal is for everybody to get an A, but I've tried to set up the course so that as long as you are able to work through the material, that you're going to pass the course, right? And then hopefully you all do well in the exams, which gets you beyond just passing, right? And my hope is that everybody gets, at least a B or higher, right? So I'm pulling for you. If you need any help, by all means, let me know. Okay, but please, 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 the most important thing with this J-term class is following along and keeping on track. So if you need any help, let me know. Reach out to me as soon as possible, right, before you fall behind. We do have a little benefit this year in that we have a little extra time. So in the past, the J-term semester was usually about 3 weeks, but I guess the way New Year's and then like the fall semester ended, we have about 4 weeks this semester. So we've got a little bit of a cushion. So I'm confident that everybody can do well, but let me know if I could be of any help. All right, I want to see you all do well in this course. Okay, and here it's just laying out the general structure. Okay, but the general format again is going to be we're going to have 3 blocks. Okay, each block we're going to cover 2 chapters. Each chapter is going to have a qualitative quiz and quantitative quiz, and then there's going to be an exam at the end of the block. And so, my goal or how you should kind of go through the course material, what I want you to do or what I would want you to do is, so when I start, say, chapter 1, I'm going to start by reading the chapter in the textbook, and then I'm going to read the lecture material that's posted. Okay, I'm going to read the chapter in the text, and then I'm going to watch the screencast, which would be equivalent of lecture-style material from the class. After I do that, I'm then going to take the qualitative quiz. The qualitative quiz, again, is going to be true-false, multiple choice, fill-in-the-blank questions. Most of the material is going to be pulled directly from the text, from the reading, but there might also be some questions based on that screencast that you watched. Okay. But after you do that, I would complete the qualitative quiz. Okay. The qualitative quiz, true, false, multiple choice, fill in the blank. You can only take it one time, okay, but it's open notes, open book, and you're going to have a 6-hour time limit. Okay, 6-hour time limit's meant to be like the equivalent of having, unlimited amount of time. I put 6 hours on it just so that you don't leave the quiz open, indefinitely. So then you complete the qualitative quiz, and then you move on. There's going to be a series of screencasts posted. Well, so I'm going to have posted, problems. So, here's the suggested problems from chapter 1, and then I'll have screencasts in which I work through a solution for each problem. All right, as if we were in class working through it on the whiteboard, I will work through each problem. The goal for you would be to, look at the problems, watch the screencasts, and make sure you can understand or master how to solve said problem. Okay, so the goal is based on those screencasts that you feel comfortable or confident that you could solve the problems on your own. Once you're comfortable and confident, you then can move on to the quantitative quiz. Okay, so the quantitative quiz is going to contain questions similar to problems in the problem set, in which you are going to, so you'll have a prompt for a problem in which you'll numerically solve, and then you'll input a numerical answer on Canvas. Okay, so it's a quantitative quiz. Okay, there'll be a question, and then you're just going to provide a numerical answer. Okay, so there'll be a series of questions. So you take the quantitative quiz after mastering the problems in the screencast. You go into the quantitative quiz, you take it. Okay. It's also going to have a 6-hour time limit, which is meant to be more than enough time, but just to try and keep you from having the quiz open indefinitely. But you go in, you take the quantitative quiz, you submit it, you'll instantly get feedback. So you'll instantly see what questions were wrong. Okay. So take a look at the questions that were wrong, go back and review and master that material, and then come back and take the quiz again. You'll be able to take the quiz 3 times, okay, up to 3 times, okay, and then your highest score is going to be recorded. And so the hope is that if you get a question wrong in the first attempt, you can review the material related to that question, take the quiz again, okay. If you still get it wrong, review again, ask for help. You can ask for help at any point. take it again, and the hope is by the third time you've mastered the material and you get a perfect for the quiz. Okay. So then you'd move on to chapter 2, repeat, and then after chapter 2 there'd be an exam. Now for the exam, okay, so the exam at the end of each block, the exam's going to be open note, open book, open everything. So it'll be open notes, open book. You can use MATLAB, you can use Excel, right? It'll be open everything in terms of solving. Okay, but two notes on the exams is one, I haven't exactly decided on the format. In the past, what would happen is question 1 in the exam, so it'd be in the Canvas quiz environment, would be a PDF of a typed up exam. You would then need to write out solutions to all the problems on a piece of paper, and then once you were done, scan it up, so you could use, say, your phone and submit it as a PDF. So you would upload it and attach it as a PDF on Canvas. Or I've had students in the past, they would write out solutions on, say, a tablet, like an iPad, then convert that to PDF and submit. So note 1 on the exams is, what I might try and do this semester is for the qualitative questions, make them, true, false, multiple choice in the Canvas environment, so Canvas grades them, and then you'll just need to write out your work for the quantitative part, but that'll be a minor detail. But at the very least, you are going to have to write out work, scan it, and submit it for your exam solutions. And then the other note on the exams is they're going to be open everything, but it is going to be proctored using Proctorio. Okay, now the only reason for using Proctorio is I'm just going to use Proctorio as a check to make sure that you are the person taking the exam and that you're taking it alone. Okay, so the exam is open everything, right? So don't worry about it from a proctoring standpoint. Okay, but Proctorio will be used, and the purpose of Proctorio is just to confirm that you're taking the exam, that you are the person taking the exam, and that you're taking it alone. So since we're using Proctorio, you'll need to make sure you have that Proctorio plugin for your web browser, and then you will need a webcam. The webcam will be used just to, confirm your identity, that it's you taking the exam, and then we'll make sure that you're taking it by yourself, right, during that duration of the exam. Right, and the exams are 2 hours. So it's set up so it's an exam that I would offer. If this were a normal 3 credit hour class during the semester. So something that could be taken during a 1 hour exam period, but then tried to build in some extra time so that, again, once you're done, you're going to have to scan up your work and submit it. So giving, plenty of extra time for some of these technicalities. Okay, so, for each chapter, you're going to read the textbook, you're going to watch the screencasts, then you're going to take the qualitative quiz, then you're going to watch the screencasts, and make sure that you are confident in your ability to solve all of the posted problems. And then once you're confident in your ability to solve the posted problems, you'll then take the quantitative quiz. And if you don't get them all right the first time, you can review the material for the questions that you answered wrong and try again. Okay, and it's set up so you can take it 3 times with the hope that by the end of the 3rd time, you'll have mastered the problems. And then once you've completed the 2 chapters within that block, you'll then take the exam. Right? So the exam, the goal is for you to re-review all the material, and yeah. So then after block 1, then you'll move on to block 2, the next 2 chapters, and so on and so forth. Okay. So that's the hope. And again, honestly, right? The goal is that if you can follow along and keep up with the course, and so keep on track and complete the quizzes, you'll pass the course. Okay? And then, even on the exams, even if you pull the 50%, right, that's going to put you up at a C+, B- in the course, right? But hopefully everybody's doing better than that. Okay? So my sincerest goal, right, is for everybody to do well in this course. If everybody gets an A in the course, right, that means you did your job and I did my job, right? Life is good. So if you need any help at all, just let me know, and I am here and happy to help you. Okay. If you do get extended testing time or need any other accommodations, let me know. Let me know as soon as possible. all the qualitative, quantitative, and the exams are going to be deployed in a Canvas environment. So if you needed extended testing time, I need to go into the Canvas settings and adjust the exam, say, time for you. And so let me know to make sure I can do that before you attempt the exam. Grade disputes, so hopefully there aren't any. But if there are any issues with grading, okay, the note on here is make sure you let me know by Monday, January 29th at 12 noon. Okay, I need to submit final grades to the registrar, or grades become official at 12 noon on Tuesday, the 30th. Okay, and so make sure you let me know by Monday at the very latest. That way I have time to address any issues or concerns before grades become official Tuesday, the 30th at noon. You can look at the important dates. But again, we have a little extra time this semester compared to the past. So normally J-term is about 3 weeks. We have about 4, which is fantastic. And so I've tried to set things up so that for each block, right, you budget about 6 weekdays, right? There's, weekend days, but 6 weekdays with a little extra time for the second block, which is chapters 3 and 4, because it contains more material than the other 2 blocks. Okay. So for, I call it week 1, but it's really like block 1, 2, 3. Okay, so for block 1, which covers chapters 1 and 2, okay, course begins January 2nd. Okay, the due date I'm going to set for the quizzes for chapter 1 and 2, and then exam 1 is going to be the 9th. Okay, so that's so you can follow it up here. So that's going to be Tuesday, January 9th. Okay, all of that material is due. Okay. So course opens January 2nd. Okay, first block of material is due January 9th. Okay. Second block of material is due January 18th. And then the third block of material is due January 27th. So I listed it here on, Saturday. All right, so try and complete it by the end of the day Saturday. So then, at the latest on Sunday, I can make sure I get everything graded, and so you can see your grades. That way, that deadline of make sure by Monday at noon, if you have any issues, you let me know so we can get them remedied before grades become final. Okay, so the last block I've listed as January 27th, that's Saturday, right? The last day of classes posted online is Friday, okay? But I have it listed as Saturday. So try and keep on track. There's going to be a due date assigned with each block, right? This is going to make sure you keep on track. It'll also make sure I, keep up with our grading so that we don't have any issues with your, grade getting processed at the end of the semester. So there's going to be deadlines, for each block. Make sure you hit the deadlines for each block. If you want to work ahead, right, you can potentially work ahead. And so if you know that you have some sort of time commitment later on in the semester, you can, try your best to work ahead, and that is fine. But there's going to be due dates assigned with each block so that you stay on track and I stay on track. From previous semesters teaching this course, right, the goal is that everybody can be successful in this course, right? And I'm here to help you, right, to make sure you're successful. Where students have run into trouble in this course is when they get off track, right? And so that's where the deadlines are in place, right? And the main goal is for you to stay on track and not get behind, right? Because once you get behind, then it usually just tends to snowball and can become hard to catch up, right? And I want to make sure that you all do well. Okay. So, that's it. Okay. If you need any help, right, please let me know. Right. My goal is for us all to be successful this semester. Okay. We'll see you soon.